So, for those of you that aren't familiar with me, hello, my name is Tubfrog, nice to meet you, hope you're having a jolly-ass day, and I'm a Raiders fan. And on Sunday, you know, all things considered, I'd say I had a below-average day. Why, you may ask? Well, not only did the Raiders play football, which already gives me an uncontrollable urge to rip my scrotum apart from my fucking flesh, but even worse, we won! And we may have just set our franchise back another 5 years at least by missing out on a I'm getting ahead of myself. So, let me take you to the beginning of this fucking catastrophe. This game sucked. Like all Raiders games have this year, though. We haven't played a mildly fun game all season. Like, I'm not being dramatic. I haven't had any fun this season. I have enjoyed football less as an NFL fan than any season ever before. I haven't looked forward to a Raider game once, because there's simply no incentive to care about this team. And in this game, the Jaguars came for that tank bowl crown hard, man. Mac Jones played the worst game he's played all season. And I mean, there was literally a sequence where we had 2 straight penalties to get out of a 3rd and short, which was great stuff, but then the Jaguars came right back and got 2 straight offsides. Like, you can't tell me they aren't throwing on purpose. This needs to be looked into. Doug Peterson has thrown games before, okay? That's all I'm saying. But then, there was a glimmer of hope. If anyone could drop Daniel Carlson's Venmo, I've got him with anything he needs. And Brian Thomas caught a long touchdown because Jack Jones can't guard a decent-sized fucking narwhal if it hit a double move on him. And we had a chance to lose the game. We had a shot! But now, here we are, 3rd down. Aiden O'Connell can't move. Let me remind you that. You will never see a more immobile quarterback in your life. And what happens? Aiden bitch-ass O'Connell pulls an Eli Manning somehow, escapes the pressure, and throws up a prayer to Amir Abdullah, who gets a head top. The tank commander hath betrayed us, though. Amir Abdullah decided to have a legacy drive. Amir Abdullah. That's who just kept this drought going. Amir Abdullah. A defense with Eric Armstead, Josh Hines-Allen, and Trayvon Walker got scorched by Amir Abdullah. And of course, Mac Jones couldn't do anything with the ball still. Why wouldn't he check it down on 4th and 11 and have the team get a holding call on a 1-yard run? Fuck this shit, dude. Fuck football. This shit's dumb. Arch Manning's our guy in 2026. I just gotta cry for a few more seasons, that's all. But before we continue, I gotta talk to you about something. Picture this. The thrill of the outdoors. The strategy of the perfect catch and that unmatched feeling when you finally reel in the big one. Sounds great, right? Well, that's exactly what you can get with Fishing Clash, the sponsor of today's video. And if you've been on the channel long enough or been in the Discord actively, you'd know that I love mobile games, which is why Fishing Clash not only really stood out to me, but for a mobile fishing game, it's got everything you want. In this stunning fishing experience, you can take several different angles to the game. You can try and climb the leaderboards globally, dominate in clan wars to prove you're the greatest fishing champion there is, or you can even take a more relaxing approach to the game if that's your thing and enjoy the overall calmness of the game while learning about new species and habitats along the way. And come on, who doesn't want to be reeling in a big, massive, old, largemouth bass without having to put your fingers into that slimy thing's mouth, right? I mean, I'm only seeing wins here. So if you've got that itch to go fishing and want to play a game at the same time, then download Fishing Clash using the link in the description, or you can just scan the QR code on the screen right here and get a $20 value reward pack as well as a free unique avatar when you use code Tubfrog. And once again, all you got to do is scan the QR code or go to the link in the description to redeem your special code. You also have to go to the settings, tap on gift codes, and enter Tubfrog to unlock exclusive gifts from this channel. So follow the steps on the screen here, and thanks to Fishing Clash for sponsoring this video. And without further ado, let's get back to the video. Well, I don't know, man. Call me a hater all you want, but I'm sorry. I think the Broncos are frauds. They had chances to end this game. The Chargers are so injured, and somehow Denver got the run game going, but they just couldn't keep it up. Bo Nix's counting stats seemed good from this game, because, I mean, in a vacuum they were, but over the last 3 games, he hasn't been all that still. He's reverting back to early season form and averaging almost 2 interceptions per game. And I'm sorry, in the playoffs, as a rookie QB on the road, no, I just don't believe. And that's also not even mentioning that they choked this game against the Chargers. After that weird free kick thing that kept it a 1-possession game, they missed chances so many times. And I just gotta say, man, I wish we could be the Chargers. They have everything that I want. They have Harbaugh. They have a franchise quarterback. When healthy, they have an amazing defense. It's just, I'm jealous. And after Bo Nix missed Marvin Mims for what should have been a free touchdown, and when Gustavo's fat ass somehow rumbles for more than 6 yards, you know you've lost the game versus the Chargers. If seeing this Chungus with any burst of speed isn't the biggest physical demonstration of a human victory cigar, I don't know what is. But the Chargers still pulled it off anyway, and man, dude, that fishing club guy, he can throw a football.
Patty Daddy is so damn good. I just want to run my fingers through that fluffy curly.
Let me just start out by saying this was a game that was marketed as like some wild matchup between 2 Super Bowl teams, but come on, we know that's just not really true. Obviously, the Chiefs are technically contenders, but neither of these teams have looked anywhere near immortal or convincing for more than 2 weeks at any point this season. And you'd think at some point the Chiefs' luck will run out. And hell, both of these teams, the Chiefs and the Texans, have a lower point differential than the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are technically a better team. Obviously, they aren't, but still, the stats are not going towards the Texans and Chiefs. And both teams didn't look very good. I mean, for those of you that watched this game, were you impressed? Honestly, the Texans might be better, but I'm telling you, what the Chiefs do best is just pulling off impactful plays better than anyone. Mahomes just makes amazing plays at clutch moments, and although, like I said, they're getting less and less scary by the year, but any team that converts on damn near 51% of their third downs is to be feared. But the Texans never went down. It's just that Tank Dell injury really took all the air out for Stroud in the offense. They just weren't the same after that. Nico's been hurt all year, Diggs is out for the season, and now Dell too. This was just supposed to be one of the best receiving rooms in the NFL, and instead we're now seeing Robert Woods and Xavier Hutchinson sets. So, I don't know, man. Call it luck, call it championship football. I don't really care. All that matters is the Chiefs can win games, and they just keep going. I don't know. I think it'd be hilarious if they somehow go 16-1. This game, for me, was to once and for all decide which of these 2 teams is better. Because honestly, I wasn't sure. Yeah, the Ravens have the stars and the big names, but I don't know, man. The Steelers just play Steelers football, so who knows? The Ravens usually choke, right? That's how the narrative goes, something like that. But in this game, the Steelers were the ones who were making back-breaking mistakes, and the Ravens capitalized on them. After Russ fumbled in the red zone and didn't slide for, reasons? I don't know. The Ravens made them pay, and from there, it was their game to lose, which, as I did say though, they are excellent at, but the Steelers ended up fighting back. Russell Wilson, all things considered, was overall solid in this game, but damn, man, I'm telling you, I don't care how good he's been and how good he could be. He makes 2 to 5 really bad throws a game, and after Lamar made a rare mistake, Russ made one even worse as well, as he just didn't see Marlon Humphrey, I guess, and the Ravens got themselves the dub from there. But I don't know, dude. I'm still excited to see both of these teams in the playoffs. I really am.
How bad of a sign is it for the kicking team to give up field position at the 40 on every fucking kickoff?
Top 10 game of the year right here, ladies and gentlemen. Top 10 at least. Now, the formula for a magnificent viewing experience looked like it was going to be drowned in urine early on, because Saquon Barkley's got some fat meat on him. But then Jalen Hurts gave a little too questionable of a thumbs up to the ump and was ruled out with a concussion, which allowed Kendrell Pickett to play football in 2024, late in the season. Fabulous stuff. And all of a sudden, we have ourselves a game. Ignore the fact that Brian Robinson was doing everything in his power to throw this game and missed the playoffs, because Kenny Pickett is here to make you forget all about the Commanders' 9 first-half turnovers. I mean, I'm joking, but only slightly. Washington was fighting to hold on to some chance at missing the postseason, and I believe firmly that if Jalen Hurts finishes this game, the Eagles win by 35. But instead, it's time for another dogfight reminiscent of the Sam Howell days of yesteryear. and chances are when you're in a close game competition and your opponent is the 2024 Commanders, it's over. Yeah, you're done. But the Eagles could have closed this game out. Frankie Louvu was activating Thor mode and holding the Commanders' defense together by himself, and it took a minute, but Jaden Daniels made plays, which gave the ball back to future Hall of Famer Kenny Pickett, and he was tasked with getting a first down to basically ice it. But
4th down's an option. He'll look to throw. He's got Smith and struggled and drops.
you have to catch that, Devontae. You have to catch that. Well, okay. You don't want to leave Jaden Daniels' door open. I'm telling y'all, Commanders fans, you aren't going to forget this team anytime soon. They're special. They really are. This team gives off RG3 rookie year vibes, but better. And what else needs to be said? You don't doubt Jamison Crowder. All he does is make plays. He's an elite, true alpha wide receiver 1. And now, Detroit should have home field advantage locked up throughout the postseason, honestly. So that's a real tough loss, Philly. Well, let's hope Jalen Hurts is fine and this does not happen in the playoffs.
Also put the fries in the bag. Kirk, this NFL quarterback thing is pretty chill and easy.
Who's ready for penis time, baby? Let's go! Yeah, well, unfortunately, the behemoth was not unleashed in this game because Drew Lock is really, really bad. What do you want me to say? They did it. They're going to win the tank. Drew Lock is bottom 3 in success rate and might be the worst QB in the NFL according to PFF. This 50 grade is also inflated because apparently they have him graded as like the best rushing quarterback in the league. But yeah, I can't really say anything conclusive about Penix in this one. He kind of just threw to his first read most of the time and handed the ball off to Bijan 40 times. I'm not saying he's bad at all. He looked solid, but it's not fair. We had to play against the Kirk Cousins Falcons, but the Giants got the Penix version. I don't understand. Why? Why was this a thing? It's not fair, man. It's just not.
That's the best part and the worst part about being a Jets fan.
I think it's like getting a meat mallet to your ball sack every week.
It's funny. It really is with this team. I don't know how they keep doing it, but the Rams just keep winning. This game was just so Jets, though. So Jets. They buried themselves in penalties because Jets. They had a nice back-to-back ineligible man downfield sequence because Jets. And they also had a ton of back-breaking false starts, and they kept going for it on 4th down for no reason. Missed field goals, fumbles. It was the whole shebang. But they still almost won this game. The Rams just, they keep starting out slow, man. It just can't keep happening. Once again, though, I feel like I can't criticize them that much. I don't think I'm worried about the pass game for the Rams all that much. They have proven they can get things done when needed on offense, and this game was sort of no different than last week. The Rams scored when they needed to score, and against the Jets, you just kind of have to octuple team Devontae Adams, and Rodgers will throw him the ball anyways because Garrett Wilson is just a figment of our collective imagination. And the Jets fumbled the last punt for funsies and got one step closer to their tank. And all of a sudden, the Rams control their own destiny. If they win out, the division is theirs. And I don't care who you are, you do not want to see Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Puka in the wild card. I'm sorry, you just don't.
Hot dog!
I learned nothing from this game. I guess the Bears got their first touchdown in the first half since November 24th, so go them. But this game was not the game where we would see if the Lions' injuries are as bad as we're projecting them to be, because honestly, the Bears are a real football team, and scarily enough, we probably won't know if the Lions' injuries are this significant until the playoffs, but whatever. In this one, for the most part, it was the same old Lions, for all good reasons. Ben Johnson pulled out some buffoonery, Jared Goff diced up a plummeting defense, and Jahmyr Gibbs stepped into his new workhorse role nicely. But yeah, the Bears just can't stop bearing. I don't know how they've done it, but it's just impressive. The Bears haven't won a football game since October 13th. That was like weeks before Halloween, and they haven't won since then, but you already do that. I just like to kick people while they're down. I still believe in Caleb, but damn, man. It's been a season for the ages for Chicago. It really has been.
Sorry as fuck.
You know, all things considered, this was the definition of a game that would have been really telling for both of these teams early on in the season, but like, it's damn near the end of the season. We already know who the Cardinals are. They're the worst team in the division, and let's be frank here. They were already eliminated before this game. Ain't nobody scared of the Cardinals, and especially not the Carolina Panthers, I guess. And before this game, I actually damn near thought the Panthers were better than them. They might be, and they went on and proved it. They're kind of similar teams, though, and this game turned out to be the Chubba Hubbard versus James Conner show until James Conner got hurt. Because, yeah, it was just runs. But overall, it's just been a weird year for the Cardinals. The offense hasn't even been that bad. It's just been so unexpected. Marvin Harrison has a lot of polishing to do in the offseason, but the offensive play calling has been ineffective and inconsistent at best. But all in all, for me, it just comes down to the big question with the Cardinals. Kyler's good, yes, but can you actually win a Super Bowl with him as your quarterback? And to that, I think I'd say no. He's probably the best quarterback. I would say no too, but still, a no is a no, and the Cardinals have him locked up for a long time. So just, I guess, keep developing Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride, and hope that Kyler and this coaching staff are the truth, but I have my doubts. Welcome back to This Team Still Has Delusional Playoff Hopes Part 2. Yeah, I don't know, man. The Bengals season has been over for months. I guess there's still like, what, a 14% chance they get in, but the offense has continued to do its thing. Joe Burrow's still good, Jamar Chase is good, but Dorian Thompson-Robinson might be the worst player in the NFL. I'm dead serious. What does he even do? I get that Jameis Winston wasn't playing good enough to not be benched, but Kevin, do you remember what happened last time you let this man play football? He can't throw a pass. DTR had 150 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 picks, which is better than almost every game he's played in his career still somehow. And yeah, that's not enough to beat Joe Burrow, but I'm starting to think Kevin Stefanski's doing this for the tank too. So, you know, hey, I gotta respect the hustle. You're doing it better than us. Well, me in the ass. Boy, did I pick a good week to go against Jonathan Taylor in 3 leagues. I love that. The Colts are technically still in the playoffs, I think. They need like 6 teams to lose out. The Colts need to win out, and an asteroid needs to kill Sean Payton. But if that happens, they have a chance, and a commanding win over the Titans is exactly what they needed, with Jonathan Taylor going for over 200 yards. Just, you know, ignore the part of the game where Mason Rudolph mounted a furious comeback. And the Colts almost let the Minnesota incident of 22 happen again, but hey, well, let's just be nice and call this a good win. But yeah, this game doesn't even matter in the slightest, probably. All right, big game for Seattle. Huge game. The Vikings are one of the best teams in the NFL, and the Seahawks are not. So this could have been a massive game to go out there and send a message to the NFL, which they almost did. I'll be honest, the Vikings and Seahawks were pretty evenly matched for almost the entire first half, and both teams continued to suffer from their own same problems that have been plaguing them all year. Protection for both respective quarterbacks was a huge issue, and the Seahawks, dude, I'm telling you, bro, they just have the worst, like, 3rd and 1 play calling known to man, and I feel like that was one of the biggest differences in this game. Coaching. In my eyes, Kevin O'Connell should get Coach of the Year, and it's not all that close. The Vikings just don't do some of the goofy shit that Seattle does. Like when the Seahawks had a whole sequence where they got a fake punt and ended up getting the first down, they then proceeded to do nothing afterwards, burned a timeout for no reason, and gave it back to Minnesota anyways. But for what it's worth, it also helps to have some guy named Justin Jefferson on your team and some missed calls here and there. But luckily for Minnesota, they do have that guy, Justin Jefferson, and they did end up getting a few calls, but the Vikings still hung on to win, and Seattle is pretty much at the mercy of the Rams now. But I guess it's technically not over for them just yet. Trap game alert. Yeah, I saw this one coming, but this was a little bit too easy to predict. I can't even pat myself on the back. The Bills' offense being trash was shocking to me, but I was worried about the defense. Rasul Douglas, Matt Milano, and like 16 other guys are out right now, so I was expecting the Patriots' offense to put up a fight, and they did for a little while, but yeah, it just wasn't enough. Eventually, James Cook did things, but hey, Patriots fans, we've been here before too. Take a step back and realize, for your sake, this type of game is perfect. Develop your players, fight a contender hard, but still lose to maintain the draft capital. That is a simple formula, but still, apparently not many can follow it. The Mike McDaniel revenge game, I think. These teams are both pretty much done too. I know it's not 100% over for the Dolphins, but for the Niners, it is. At least Deebo Samuel picked a hell of a time to decide to start playing football. Good work, man. Amazing stuff. I used to pray for times like these. I don't know, though. There was weirdly no stakes in this game. If you saw this on the schedule in like week 2, this was probably a game that could have had hype, but it is all gone. The Dolphins kind of just strangled the 49ers to death off of missed opportunities by the Niners, as usual, and also Miami has technically kept their playoff hopes alive, too, but nah, they don't have a shot. Once again, man, this is like the 6th team this week where their fan base is just like, oh, now y'all decide to play like this, huh? Because the Cowboys were convincing me for a hot minute that if they were healthy, they could have had an amazing crushing loss in the wild card. But instead, this is the timeline we got, where instead of playing for anything, the Cowboys devoted themselves to making Baker Mayfield's life a little bit less fun than usual. The guy was pressured on damn near every throw, and the Cowboys defense was playing out of their minds, and Dallas was in control for almost the whole game. But then things got a little sketchy. The Bucs offense got stuff going because Baker Mayfield was still balling. However, Dallas pulled off the play of the game damn near when they stopped Baker Mayfield from making the play of the game, when they just yoinked it out of Rachaad White's mitts, and the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. Truly an inspirational tank performance from them.
I don't know what I'm doing!
What do you even want me to say, bro? This was the most boring game of the entire year because not only was it the most predictable, but what we predicted actually just happened. Spencer Rattler can't complete a forward pass, Packers are good, Saints are bad. Like, what do you want me to do? Analyze this game? There is literally nothing to take away here. But before we go, it's time for the Tubfrog Discord Awards, where I turn to you, the people, to see what you thought were the best and worst plays and players from Week 16. And without further ado, let's begin, because I asked what you thought the best play was from Week 16, and it had to go to the free kick that the Chargers had on Thursday, right? I mean, that's something that may never happen again, and honestly, there wasn't that many crazy plays this week, so makes sense. And then I asked what the worst play was from Week 16, and I'm pretty surprised, I think. It went to Russell Wilson's game-losing pick 6, which was atrocious, but, you know, I don't know, dude. Devonta Smith really needs to catch that pass. But then I asked what the best game was from Week 16, and overwhelmingly, good lord, 240 votes for Eagles versus Commanders. I don't know what it is about these two teams, but every year, they just seemingly have a game of the year. And then I asked who the best player was from Week 16, and it went to Jonathan Taylor, who just completely took over for the Colts, so no surprises there. And then I asked who the worst player was from Week 16, and I don't care, I had to put Amir Abdullah up there, but Spencer Rattler took this one pretty easily. Honestly, I don't even know if he had that bad of a performance, or he's just, you know, that terrible at football. Either way, this wasn't even close. And then I asked who the best team was from Week 16, and I guess it went to the Packers. I don't know, man. They didn't really do anything. They just kind of went out there and took care of business, but okay, I guess. And then I asked who the worst team was from Week 16, and like, okay, I guess it went to the Saints. To be fair, they did play like the worst game any team has played all year, so okay, fine, I'll give you that one. And then I asked what the best ice cream flavor was. It was very, very heated and widespread across the board, but it ended up going to cookies and cream. Good choices, what can I say? But anyways, if you like this video, then subscribe, because I got a lot of videos on the channel just like this one, and thanks to Fishing Clash for sponsoring this video. It truly does mean a lot. And if you like this video, then watch this video I did a few weeks back on the Jacksonville Jaguars and their misery. It's pretty good, trust me. And thanks to all my patrons for pledging $1. It truly does mean a lot. But anyways, until next time.